MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
I'm John Amy here in Butte. I'll tell you about a tragedy being investigated by the state at the Butte jail.
I'm Cassidy Powers here at the Lewis and Bark Dog Park, and if you want to find out why I'm surrounded by so many corgis, stay tuned.
Alrighty, it is 6:30 on this Wednesday morning. Jane McDonald and Matt Elwell with you bright and early. Not a bad way to start your day, just a handful of corgis.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I can't wait to watch that story.
It's a fun one.
It's good.
I promise you that.
Morning temperatures into the 40s. You'll probably need a light jacket if you're going to be taking that early morning walk, but I think the afternoon is going to warm up in a hurry. A lot of sunshine, very little cloud cover, and a decent amount of wind, to be quite honest. Daytime temperature should build quickly into the mid-80s for today. Sunny skies, wind speeds between 10 and 20 miles an hour. Out of the south, I'll talk about our rain chances, or any rain chances in our forecast, in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Now, we have an update to a story that we've been following all morning involving what Bosman police say is a man barricaded in a Bosman home with a rifle. Now, this is an update from the Bosman Police Department Facebook page, which reads, "This remains an active incident, and the Lewis and Clark County Helena PD SWAT team is now on scene for additional support. The shelter-in-place warning is still in effect for those within a block of the scene, and stay away from windows until further notice. Those under the shelter-in-place advisory were notified via a reverse 911 call last night. Please continue to avoid the area." All that from the Bosman Police Department's Facebook post. Specifically, it's the area of 9th and Lammy, where there is currently heavy law enforcement presence. It's been that way since about 11 o'clock or so last night. Something of note is how close this is happening to Bosman High. In the Facebook comments, Bosman police say that the school resource officer is in contact with the district, and ultimately, any decisions will be made by the Bosman School District. Updates will be provided during this incident, and we're going to continue to monitor this and keep you updated online and on air as we continue to learn more. Now, over in the mining city, a tragic death at the Butte jail. MTN's John Amy gives us the details about an inmate who was found dead in a cell Tuesday morning.
An inmate in the Butte Detention Center has died in what officials suspect were from self-inflicted cuts he sustained while in custody in a holding cell in this overcrowded facility. The inmate was discovered about 7 o'clock in the morning of September 24th, unconscious and not breathing. Though life-saving techniques were tried by staff, the inmate was later pronounced dead at St. James Healthcare. The body was taken to the Montana Crime Lab in Missoula, where an autopsy will be conducted to determine the cause of death. This incident is being reviewed by the Montana Department of Criminal Investigations. The jail in Butte has been scrutinized lately for being overcrowded, with an inmate population that is more than double it was originally intended to hold. The jail is also understaffed, and many inmates have complained about deplorable conditions in the facility due to the overcrowding. Sheriff Ed Lester said he does not believe overcrowding is a factor in this recent death. In a statement, the sheriff said, "I do not believe the overcrowding in the jail played a role in the incident. The inmate was in a cell with one other inmate. The cell he was in the booking area and not in one of the large cell blocks." However, Butte attorney Charles McIntosh said overcrowded detention centers can often lead to tragedies like this one in Butte.
It's really sad. It is. And regardless of the facility and its purpose, when there's overcrowding, it's incredibly difficult for the employees to have an understanding of what's going on and keep track of everything. And I hope that's not what happened here, but I am fearful of that because I know the jailers really have their hands full right now.
In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
And the tumultuous campaign for Republican Senate candidate Tim Sheii continues this morning. Earlier this month, the Bosman businessman came under fire for racially insensitive remarks against Native Americans, comments he has yet to apologize for. Now the controversy deals with a number of plagiarized passages from his book, which was published back in 2023. This morning, MTN's Haley Monaco dives deeper into those allegations and what impact, if any, this will have on the race.
In the book Mudslingers, a true story of aerial firefighting written by Tim Sheii, it appears that there's multiple sections in it that have been plagiarized. And that might not have been known if it wasn't for a news tip.
People said that book seems suspicious.
Montana U.S. Senate Republican candidate Tim Sheii is back in the headlines.
There were 4 passages that were, I would say, questionable, if not outright plagiarism.
Daryl Ehrlich, the editor-in-chief of the Daily Montanan, first broke the story that Sheei's book, published in 2023 as both an autobiography and history piece, appeared plagiarized.
Let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with taking other sources, citing, attributing, quoting. All of those are perfectly legitimate. The challenge becomes when you don't give the proper citation or reference.
Ehrlich says they ran the book through 2 different softwares, one simply being Grammarly, to detect for any kind of plagiarism. The possible plagiarism ranges from using a definition from Wikipedia to full paragraphs with few changed words.
The information that I think was likely plagiarized, that the software picked up on as well, it's never the kind of information that is bombshell. It's more just supporting information. And I think that basically every time you receive a ballot, it is, in a sense, asking for trust.
This is a bigger deal than some people might even think. Plagiarism, it does erode the trust.
MSUB political science professor Paul Pope, also quoted in the article, says if this happened in his class, it would be a serious offense.
In many cases, a student who plagiarizes, they're going to fail the course.
Whether the same remains for Sheei's campaign will have to be seen in November.
We've seen it in the past where a political appointee was found to have plagiarized a portion of their work and their nomination was withdrawn. They dropped out.
Both MTN News and the Daily Montanan requested comment from Sheii, but never heard back.
It's problematic because he is asking Montanans to vote for him as one of 2 senators.
In Billings, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
And meanwhile, Sheei's Democratic opponent in the race for the U.S. Senate, Jon Tester, still refuses to endorse his party's candidate for president. Tester chose not to attend last month's Democratic National Convention when Kamala Harris was officially nominated as the party's candidate for commander-in-chief. And Tester was the lone delegate from Montana to withhold a vote from Harris. MTN was finally able to catch up with the senator to ask him about that decision.
And unfortunately, my opponent would rather talk about a national race, which will be decided by the people of Montana. And whoever gets elected to the U.S. presidents, I can guarantee you one thing, just like all previous ones, I'll work with them when they're doing good things for Montana, and I'll hold them accountable when they're not.
Many polls currently have Tester trailing Sheii in the race for the U.S. Senate. This race, one of the most critical in the 2024 election. A Sheii victory could flip the balance of power in the Senate, giving Republicans a majority. And did you know that there is a Corgi lover group right here in Bosman? Our Cassidy Powers stopped into one of the Corgi play dates to join in on some of the furry fun.
The Corgis of Bosman gathered at Lewis and Bark Dog Park on Saturday for a puppy play date. So, of course, the paparazzi had to show up.
I call him my little cat dog fox because it's like they have dog qualities, they have cat qualities, and then they can be very playful like a little fox.
I spoke with Natalie about her Corgi, Nash. She tells me she's wanted a Corgi her entire life.
This is my first Corgi I've had and I am addicted to them.
And Natalie tells me she's not the only one obsessed with Corgis.
Corgi meetups are kind of a common thing in all cities for Corgi people. So I used to go to them in Phoenix and then looked on Facebook and found one here.
The Gallatin Valley Corgi Club, a local group of Corgi lovers that meet up every so often for Corgi playdates. And with nearly 1,000 followers on Facebook, these playdates are more like a party.
Hi!
Anyone is welcome to attend these Corgi playdates, whether you have one or not, to join in on the furry fun. I even made a friend named Makai who gave me a quick kiss mid-interview.
No, I grew up with labs, but then
I asked Mackay's owner, who's been to a few of these playdates now.
As a Corgi lover, what does it mean to have this community in Bosman?
I love it. Like, it's super cool. Obviously, they're a pretty unique dog, and I think they're kind of gaining in popularity. They're just such quirky, like, goofy dogs. It's fun to get them all together and all their little personalities.
And Nicole Hamley tells me she's been coming to these Corgi meetups since the very first one in February of 2019, when she didn't even have a Corgi. Now she has 3. So I asked, why Corgis?
Look at how cute he is. How can you not? And look at the little booty. They're just the best dogs ever. Yeah. Yeah, he agrees.
If you want to join in on the Corgi fun, the link to Gallatin Valley Corgi Club will be posted on our website. In Bozeman, Cassidy Powers, MTN News.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, Cassidy. All right, time for a quick break here on Montana This Morning. When we come back, well, you might say home field advantage is a big reason Gallatin